Welcome back to the mat. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me. Today's practice, we are focusing on increasing strength and flexibility in our hamstrings and our quad muscles, and also opening up of our hip flexors and improving the mobility and the range of motion that we have in our hips. And we are working towards getting into a full front splits. That's kind of like the peak pose of the entire practice, but it's working towards it. If you're someone who sits a lot during your work hours, or you travel a lot, you drive a lot, then this practice will greatly help release all those tight muscles around your hips. Also, we tend to store a lot of our tensions and our emotions in our hips, so it's a feel good practice. Always, please do take the practice at your own pace and tailor it for how you are feeling during the practice at that moment. You might be more flexible one day, and some days your muscles just don't want to cooperate with you, and that's completely fine. I like to use blocks for getting into full splits. Like I said, some days I can just slip into full splits, and some days I am nowhere close to it. So I like to have blocks close by. So if you do have yoga blocks, have them handy. And please do consider subscribing to my channel. Your support is extremely appreciated. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. And whenever you're ready, I'll meet you on the mat. We'll jump right into the practice, starting in downward facing dog. You can walk your dog to warm up your legs, and make sure that the back of your neck is long and your core is engaged. Next, out breath, lift your right leg up, coming into a three-legged dog. Square your hips down onto the mat. Bring your right knee into your chest, flow into a plank. Tap your right knee down onto the mat, pull it back into your chest, scoop your leg back, coming into a downward three-legged dog. We'll do that 4 more times on this side. Suck your knee into your chest, coming into a plank, tap the knee down, back into your cheetah kind of progression, scoop your leg back up, coming into a three-legged dog. Flow into plank, knee into your chest, tap the knee down, pull it back into your chest, scoop your leg back up. 2 more, knee into your chest, tap the knee down, pull it back in, scoop back, three-legged dog. Last one, knee into your chest, tap the knee down, pull it back in, three-legged dog. And release your right leg down onto the mat. Lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee into your chest, tap the knee down, pull it back in, scoop the leg back, down, three-legged dog. Bring your knee into your chest, tap the knee down, pull it back in, scoop the leg back up. Every time you come into your three-legged dog, make sure that you're squaring your hips down onto the mat. 2 more. And last one. Release your left leg back onto the mat, coming into downward facing dog. Look towards your palms, squeeze your elbows and bring your forearms down onto the mat, coming into dolphin. Next breath, lift your right leg up, three-legged dolphin. Come back to center, left leg up, three-legged dolphin, back to center, and bring your nose to touch in between your palms. Go back into your dolphin. We'll do that sequence 3 more times. Right leg up, back to center, left leg up, back to center, nose dive between your palms, back into dolphin. Right leg up, left leg up, look between your palms, nose dive between your palms, back to dolphin. Last one, right leg up, left leg up, nose dive. And this time come into your forearm plank, Squeeze your glutes, engage your core and hold. Bring your hips all the way down onto the mat, coming into a swings, and breathe into your lat muscles. You must be feeling the heat building up in your back. Bring your chest all the way down onto the mat. Next exhale will be engaging our hamstrings, squeezing our glutes and lifting our legs and our hands off the mat. Use your hamstrings to lift your legs away from the mat. Cactus your arms, pull your elbows to your shoulders, release back onto the mat. We'll do that 5 more times. Exhale into your Superman or Superwoman. Cactus your arms, bring them to your shoulders, release your arms, come back to the mat. 3 more. Lift, cactus your arms, release, back to the mat. Squeeze your glutes and use your hamstrings to pull your legs away from the mat. Release back. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees off the mat. Bring your palms next to your chest. Squeeze your elbows and push all the way back into full plank. Squeeze your glutes. Engage your core and hold. Release your knees down onto the mat, coming onto all fours. Press the mat with the tops of your feet. Make sure that your feet are hip distance apart and your palms are directly underneath your shoulders. Engage your core, tuck your belly, lift your chest, round your back and bring your shoulder blades away from each other. Push the mat away from you. Next breath, release your belly, pull your chest through your hands. Out breath, round your back, shoulder blades move away from each other. Come back to neutral spine. Tuck your toes and lift your knees off the mat, hovering in a bear crawl position for 4 breaths. Keep your core engaged. Next breath, roll on to your left foot. Scoop your right leg from underneath. Extend your right leg towards the left edge of the mat and catch your feet. Come back and rotate onto the other side. Extending your left leg, catch your feet. Back to bear crawl position. Roll on to the left side of the mat. Catch your right leg. Come back to bear crawl. Rotate onto the right side of the mat. Extend your left leg, catch the feet. Back into your bear crawl position and release. Take a child's pose. Next, exhale, shoot into your full plank and bring your chest all the way down onto the mat. Bring your palms in line with your thighs, palms facing down. Press through the tops of your feet. Your legs are active. Next, exhale, squeeze your glutes. Use your hamstrings to lift your legs off the mat. Hold your locust. Back of your neck is long. Release your locust. Palms come next to your chest. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees off the mat. Push into a full plank. And shift your hips back, coming into a downward facing dog. Right leg up, pointing your toes, squaring your hips down towards the mat. Right knee into chest. Place your right foot in between your palms. Pivot your back foot down onto the mat. Cartwheel your arms. Open up warrior 2. Make sure that your front heel and back arch are in line with each other. Lift your right foot off the mat. Reverse your warrior. You can optional to bring your left hand behind your back towards your right thigh. Right hand comes on the inside of the right leg. Side angle. Optional to bring your top arm in line with your ears. Bring your gaze towards your right foot. Push through the ball mount of your right leg. Transition into a triangle. Extend your top arm towards the sky. Bend your right leg back. Side angle. Extend your right leg, transitioning back into a triangle. We'll do that transition 5 more times, and the whole time keep rotating your top shoulder towards the sky. Engage your core. You should feel your right hamstrings work. Last one, coming into a side angle. Release into a triangle. Keep rotating your chest up towards the sky. Reverse your triangle. Use your core to come all the way up. Left hand comes over your left thigh. Right hand extends over your ear. Come back, warrior two. Clasp your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Open your chest up towards the sky and fold forward, bringing your right shoulder on the inside of your right leg. Come all the way back up, warrior two. Bring your right hand underneath your left. Bind it either once or twice, eagle arms. Suck your belly in, shift into Skandasana onto your left side, extending your right leg and right foot flexed, toes pointing up towards the sky. Release your arms, open up your arms, right hand towards the sky, left hand to the ground. You can either stay here or you can work into a bind to open your shoulders a little more. Roll onto the toes of your back foot, bring your right forearm to the back edge of the mat on the inside of your left foot, open into a twist in a lizard. Left hand extends towards the sky. Bring your left forearm down on the mat, coming into a deep lizard lunge. Extended leg is active. Come on to your palms. You can either continue to stay here, or if you want an extra challenge, you can take a bind. Thread your left hand underneath your left leg. Bring your right hand behind your back and hold your lizard in a bind. Release your palms down. Roll onto the knife edge side of both your feet. Sink your left hip down and left hand extends towards the back edge of the mat. Back to your lizard lunge and roll onto your knife edge side of the feet and take a hip dip. Come back to lizard lunge, move into a hip dip. 2 more, back to a lizard lunge, move into a hip dip. 1 more, come back into a lizard lunge and move into a hip dip. Back to lizard lunge and hold. Bring your back knee down onto the mat. Cartwheel your left hand all the way back and try to grab your back foot. Open your top shoulder up towards the sky and your foot is kicking into your palm. So this is more of a chest opener, and you're also working your right hip down towards the mat. Pull your left foot towards your glutes, and as you do that, bend your right hand and bring your left shoulder on the inside of your left leg. Chest comes down close to the mat. Release back into your chest opener, mindfully working your right hip down towards the mat. You should feel that in the right quads. Next breath, bend your right hand, work your back foot towards the glutes and bring your left shoulder on the inside of your left knee. Release back into your chest opener. Face the mat and bring your back foot towards the glutes. Release back. Release your back foot. Lift your back knee. Pivot your back foot down on the mat. Cartwheel your arms. Come back. Warrior 2 facing the front. Bring both your palms to frame the front foot. Coming into a low lunge. Keep your back leg active. Plant your palms. Step back into full plank. Squeeze your glutes. Bring your chest all the way down. Palms come next to your thighs. Engage your glutes. Use your hamstring muscles to lift your thighs and hold your locust. Release. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees. Bring your palms next to your chest. Engage your core. Push up. Plank pose. Sit your hips back towards the heel. And next exhale. Shoot forward into your plank. Flow through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. All the way back. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Three-legged dog. Squeeze your inner thighs. Left knee comes into the chest. Place your left foot in between your palms. Back foot comes down on the mat. Cartwheel your arms. Open up warrior 2. Sink your hips down. Aim is to bring your left quad parallel to the mat. Engage your core. Next breath, reverse your warrior. Optional to lift your front heel off the mat and bring your right hand behind your back towards your left thigh. Left hand comes on the inside of your left foot. Right hand extends towards the sky. Optional to bring your top hand in line with your ears. Bring your gaze down towards your left foot. Push through the ball mount and extend your left leg. Triangle. Extend your right hand all the way up towards the sky. Bend your front leg, transitioning back into your side angle. Extend your front leg back into your triangle. Sink into your side angle and extend your leg. Triangle. You should feel the heat building in your left hamstring muscles. Engage your core the whole time. Keep rotating your top shoulder up towards the sky. Last one. Reverse your triangle. Extend your hands into a T, sink into your front leg, warrior 2. Clasp your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, open your chest up towards the sky and fold forward. Humble warrior. Come back, warrior 2. Bind your left hand underneath your right. Once or twice, eagle arms. Squeeze your glutes and shift towards your right foot. Sink your hips down towards the heel. Extend your left leg. Toes flex towards the sky. Skandasana. Release your arms. Right hand comes down onto the ground. Left hand towards the sky. Or you can choose to bind. Release your bind. Roll on to the toes of your back foot. Bring your left forearm down on the mat. Extend your right hand towards the sky. Taking a twist in your lizard. Back leg is active. Bring both forearms down. Deep lizard lunge. Keep working your back knee away from the mat. Come up onto your palms and hold your lizard lunge here, or optional to take a bind in your lizard. Thread your right hand underneath your right thigh and left hand comes behind your back and bind. Release your bind. Rotate onto the knife edge side of both your feet. Sink your right hip down. Come back into your lizard lunge. Exhale, hip dip. Back into your lizard lunge. Next breath, hip dip. 2 more. Come back into your lizard lunge and take a hip dip. Last one. Back into your lizard lunge. Bring your back knee down on the mat. Bend at your knee. Cartwheel your right hand. Grab hold of your back foot and sink your left hip down towards the mat as you kick your back foot into your hand. Rotate your top shoulder open towards the sky. Next breath, as you pull your back heel towards your glute, bend your left hand, bring your right shoulder on the inside of your right knee. Release back into your shoulder opener and a quad stretch. Pull forward towards the mat. Back into your shoulder opener. Pull forward towards the mat. You should feel that deep quad opening on the right side, on your left side, sorry. Release your back foot. Come back into lizard lunge. Cartwheel your arms. Pivot your back foot down on the mat. Open up warrior 2 facing the front of the mat. Frame your front foot. Rotate onto the toes of your back leg. Work your heel away from the mat. So back heel is trying to, imagine your back heel is trying to push something away from you. So you're engaging your back leg. Squeeze your inner thighs and hold your low lunge for a breath. Bring your palms down. Come into full plank and bring your chest all the way down onto the mat. Release your palms next to your thighs. Use your hamstrings and your glutes to lift your thighs off the mat, coming into locust. Release your locust. Palms come next to the chest. Tuck your toes. Push up into full plank. Bring your hips towards your heel. And next exhale, float forward into your plank. Flow through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. All the way back. Downward facing dog. And we'll start our next sequence. Lift your right leg up, 3-legged dog. Bring your right foot in between your palms. High crescent lunge. Next exhale, launch yourself into warrior 3. Step your back foot down on the mat. Make sure that your feet are on parallel tracks. Bring your palms onto your waist. Square your hips to the front of the mat. Squeeze your glutes. Fold from your hips into your pyramid. Shoulders are moving away from your ears and the back of your neck is long. Halfway lift. Place your left palm directly underneath your face. Extend your right hand towards the sky. Twist. Keep squeezing your inner thighs to deepen your twist. Look towards your mat and slightly shift forward, and you can play into transitioning into a twisted half moon from here. Squeeze your inner thighs, that will give you more balance, and slowly start floating your back foot off the mat, keeping still being in your twist. Breathe into your neck, release your shoulders. Suck your left knee behind your right. Come all the way down into your seated position. We'll give our hamstrings a break. Lengthen your spine. Wrap your left hand around your right knee and open your chest towards the longest side of the mat. Breathe into your belly whenever you're in a twist. And make sure that your shoulders are moving away from your ears. Release your twist. Bring both palms down onto the mat. Lift your sit bones off the mat and left leg floats behind you, coming into a L shape. Start folding forward, working into your standing splits. Work towards your edge. Your splits does not have to look perfect. Release your standing splits into your warrior 2. Pop your back foot slightly closer. Bring your right hand a few inches in front of your front leg and float your back leg off the mat, coming into full half moon. Stack your hips. Flex your floating foot. Release back into warrior 2. Face the front of the mat back into your high crescent lunge. Bring the back knee down. Shift your hips forward. Sink into your hips. Bring your palms together and palms come in between your shoulder blades to add a chest opener, or you can cactus your arms, your choice. Sink into your hips. Open your left quads. Shift your weight back, shift your hips back, extend your right leg, flex your right foot and fold into half splits. Sink your hips forward, open your chest up towards the sky. Shift your hips back, hinge from your hips, fold into half splits. Breathe into your belly. Bring your left palm down directly underneath your face. Extend your right hand towards the sky. Play with taking a twist in your half splits. Release and fold back. Or if you think your hamstrings are ready and if you want to play with coming into a full splits, you can use a block directly underneath your front leg and extend all the way into your full front splits. You can bring your arms alongside your ears. Squeeze your inner thighs and work towards squaring your hips to the front of the mat. Release your hands down. Shift back into half splits if you are in your full splits. Move your block if you did use one. And back come into your low lunge. Palm the mat. Step into plank. Flow through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. All the way back. Downward facing dog. Scoop your right leg up. Three-legged dog. Right knee into chest. Place your right foot in between your palms. All the way up. High crescent lunge. Suck your belly in. Make your core really strong. Squeeze your glutes. Float your back foot all the way up. Coming into warrior 3. My right leg is really weak today. Release back. High crescent lunge. Bring your palms to your hips. Pop your back foot a step closer. Square your hips to the front of the mat. Hinge from your hips and fold into your pyramid. Place your right palm directly underneath your face. Extend your left hand towards the sky. Keep squeezing your inner thighs. Slowly start shifting your weight slightly forward, and keeping your twist, play with floating your back foot off the mat. Bring your right knee behind your left. Both your sit bones come down on the mat. Lengthen your spine. Wrap your right hand around your left knee. Open your chest towards the elongate side of the mat. Release your twist. Palm the mat and lift your back leg up, coming into an L hold. You can continue to stay here, or you can play with coming into a standing splits. Release back into your high crescent lunge. Bring your back knee down onto the mat. Sink your hips down. Open your chest up towards the sky. Shift back. Extend your left leg, flex your left foot. Fold forward, half splits. Back into your low lunge chest opener, cactusing your arms. Shift back, half splits. Halfway lift, place your right palm directly underneath your face. Squeeze your inner thighs and extend your left hand towards the sky. Release back, fold into half splits, or you can play with extending both your legs all the way and sinking into your full front splits. Use a block if needed. You can bring your hands alongside your ears. Release your hands. Shift back into your half splits. Remove your block if you are using one. Step back into plank pose. Flow through your chaturanga. Come all the way back up. Downward facing dog. Release your knees down onto the mat and bring your sit bones down. Bring the soles of your feet together. You can work your heels as close to your inner thighs as possible, or you can have it all the way in front of you. Your legs will be in a diamond and fold forward. Your forward fold should come from your hips, not by rounding your back. Come all the way back up and come all the way back down onto the mat. We'll strengthen our hamstrings one last bit. So walk your heels slightly away from your glutes and your knees are in line with your hips. Tuck your tailbone and lift your hips off the mat. You should feel that in your hamstrings. Really exhale, come all the way down. Next inhale, scoop up. Tuck your tailbone and squeeze your glutes. Release and lift. Release. Squeeze your glutes. Scoop your hip off the mat. And release one last time. Come all the way back down. Bring your feet down onto the mat. Your heels are hip distance apart. Scoop your hips off the mat, coming into a bridge. Bring your hands alongside your ears and squeezing your glutes. Exhale, push all the way into your full wheel. Release down onto the mat. Hug your knees into the chest. Roll from side to side. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. And release your feet down on the mat, and we'll end our practice here in Shavasana. Take a few seconds, come back to your normal breath, breathe into all the tight spots, show gratitude towards your beautiful body, and whenever you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, roll on to one side and come all the way up to seated. I hope you had fun doing that practice with me and you felt it in your hamstrings, quads and hips and a little bit of shoulders and everything. Thank you so much again for choosing to practice with me. You have a wonderful week. I'll see you again on the mat next week. See ya.